Come on, bro. Can't be serious. Joe Flacco, dog, bro, Cleveland ruins everything. Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase going off. He didn't throw him 37 dang balls. T. Higgins, Yoshi Vaz, Chase Brown looking like Corey Dillon. And when did the offensive line learn how to block? They ain't blocked for nobody all year. We watched Joe Burrow get tore out the frame. Jake Browning get tore out the frame. T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward ain't get to the quarterback till late in the game. And then Joe Flacco was running the ball. This man is ancient. Bruh, I ain't like him since he came in the league and he was down Baltimore Raven. He'd have been a Cleveland Brown. He'd have been a Cincinnati Bengal. The man spent his whole adult life trying to terrorize the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right when we could take hold of the AFC North, be at the top of the dang AFC, he come and do this. The Browns ruined everything. They should have kept that man on the bench, backing up Dylan Gates.
Lane, that exit off the highway, it sneaks up.
So fast.
It sneaks up on you. So just, I would save the jokes, especially when you see guys play at this level. Let's just start with that before we dig into the nuts and bolts of the game. In Rodgers, Hall of Fame, no doubt, and in Flacco, what are we looking at just in terms of sheer ability to throw the football?
Yeah, listen, I think when we were watching the game, you were talking about he's like a shooter, like an all-time great shooter. They don't forget how to shoot the ball.
Right.
This man does not forget how to throw the rock. Like, we can say whatever you want about Joe Flacco. He's a statue in the pocket and all that. But the one thing Joe Flacco is going to do, he's going to throw the ball. And now with the Cincinnati Bengals, he's going to get the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Okay? When you have elite weapons like that, you're going to be in every single game. And the running game came alive for the Cincinnati Bengals. That was a hell of a performance for a guy who's basically been there a week.
Well, and if you go back to the second half of their game at Green Bay, Cincinnati went on this monstrous, like 18-play, 10-minute drive to get back in that game, but Green Bay had too much and they hold them off. Now on a short week, for, as you say, a guy who's been here basically like 10 minutes, to have this kind of a performance against this vaunted Pittsburgh Steelers defense, is this the type of thing, and you try not to be prisoners of the moment and all of that, but is this the kind of thing for this Bengal team that gets its third victory now with Flacco and this upcoming schedule ahead of the bye, Jets and Bears? Does this open your eyes to, now wait a minute, maybe there's a path for this Bengal team? Because I'll admit I was done. I thought they were finished. This changes my opinion. What about you?
Well, isn't that the perception of the league right now? Everyone is kind of jumbled and muddled together. And we know that Pittsburgh obviously has had a lot of success early. But when you get a big win against the top dog in your division right now, and then you take a little sneak peek at the schedule, you're starting to think, man, if we can come away and win these next two games and go into the bye
at 5-4,
like we're exactly where we want to be. So this was a huge win by the Cincinnati Bengals.
You know what I loved, and we talked about this as we watched it. I think that these coaches and coordinators spend so much time drawing up ball plays and scheme and this and that. You know what Flacco's smart enough to do? Say, where's one? And he had over 20 targets tonight. I mean, sometimes you don't have to be more clever than just giving your best player the chance to catch the football.
It's not plays, it's players. Like, you see that mutant out there that wears number 1?
Yeah.
Throw him the damn ball and just let him go to work. And you're right, Scott. A lot of times these coaches, they really start to outthink themselves instead of getting the ball to your best player. That's why Joe Flacco was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals, because you have two elite wide receivers on the outside, and they didn't have a quarterback to get them the ball. Joe Flacco can do that.
And I gave as much credit as I could on the highlight. I want to say it again to T. Higgins, just understanding situational IQ. If I go down here, we can bleed the clock and essentially leave Rodgers without much time. Ball was still in the air with a chance for Pittsburgh. It gets knocked down. For the Steelers that came into this 4-1 with a really comfortable cushion, how much of a hole does this pop in the balloon of them from where they were before this night started to where things sit now in the North?
Well, I mean, listen, you're playing against a division rival, and actually it goes back to Mike Tomlin, when he was talking about why in the world would the Cleveland Browns trade Joe Flacco within the division, and here we are. Joe Flacco comes back to bite them in the butt with a huge divisional win.
And this is one last thing. This is a team that's off this week, but I asked you. I said, I haven't quit on Baltimore. I said here the other night, I said, they're going to be fine after the bye. It's a lot of institutional buy-in there, but a loss like this maybe has them sit up on the corner of their chair and go, maybe there's a path for us, right?
Scotty, I literally said, like, I thought Baltimore was dead. And then just looking at how the landscape is, they're sitting at 1-5, coming out your bye. You get Lamar Jackson back. You get some guys healthy. This thing is far from over.
They better play some defense out of
They have to.
because they've been a mess. But my gosh, what a football game this was. This might eat into some of the other games we were going to talk about later this week. But those other games have a long way to go to be able to top what this one was.
Absolutely.
What a treat. All right,
It was a great game.
More to come with Damien Woody as we continue.
Okay, so Ocho, watching this game, I mean, look, Steelers jumped out to a 10-0 lead.
Yes.
Like, damn, Bengals. And then all of a sudden, start of the fourth quarter, the Bengals have a 10-point lead, and then the Bengals have a 10-point lead to start the fourth quarter. And the next thing you know, the Steelers go down the field. Rodgers hit Freiermuth, he takes off, and they have a 1-point lead. But if you're a Steelers fan, based on what you had seen up until that point, you could not have felt comfortable with the way your defense was playing. Every defensive back from the Steelers, Chase gave it to everybody. He gave it to Ramsey the first half. He said, you know what? I think Slay and Porter feeling left out. I'm going to make sure y'all ass get it the second half. So don't nobody feel like, oh, he was pick on somebody's size. I picked on everybody and gave it to everybody. And T. Higgins said, hold on. Did they forget about me? Hey, give me that shot down. Give me that rail shot. Let me end this thing. And he did something smart. He said, nah, I could score. I could split it. But now let me go on down because I don't want y'all to get a chance to do nothing crazy. Because I know Aaron Rodgers known to throw a Hail Mary here or there, but you won't get a chance to. Ocho, watching this game, what did you like about what you saw from your Bengals tonight?
Well, first off, we know what Flacco did. We know what Chase did. We know what Teagan did. But I want to give credit to the offensive line. I want to give credit to the offensive line. I want to give credit to Zach Taylor. Not worrying about all the noise on the outside. Oh, he needs to be fired. Oh, it's the play calling. It wasn't none of that. That was never the problem. Winning games like this against a division opponent, it starts up front. The offensive line played extremely well tonight. They kept Flacco clean for most of the game. Obviously, T.J. Watt and Hayward got a sack towards the end. I don't want to call it garbage time because it was very important that we were able to get down the field. But outside of that, they kept Flacco clean all goddamn day. That goddamn third down, and they ran the goddamn read option with Joe Flacco.
Never expected it.
A read option with Joe Flacco? Who does that with a quarterback that's not a dual threat? Beautiful play call.
That's why it worked, because you're not expecting it.
At all. Beautiful play call. Obviously, the Steelers, they didn't really play good defense. They had some blown assignments on defense. Allowed Chase to get off on
that shallow cross late in the ball game. Ocho, that man got 15 catches. How the hell you let him get free for 16 on the shallow cross and ain't nobody guarding it?
Listen, there was confusion. There was a confusion at the second level. Once the motion went, Patrick Queen, they was confused on who was supposed to pick up who, and obviously Chase freed up outside.